Hey everyone, I wanted to go over the new and exciting news that we got for Monster Hunter Rise on the Nintendo Switch. And that's the fact that with the new wave of DLC that we got dropped on us this entire week, we pretty much got now access to the brand new Apex Diablos Emergency Event Quest. This was one that we were waiting for a couple of weeks now. We were expecting it last week, but it got pushed to this week with the USJ Collaboration Event Quest, which I went over yesterday. And essentially, this is exactly as advertised. This is an Apex, Diablos, and Rage, essentially. A Super Apex is what a lot of people have been calling these event quests recently. This one, you're going to be fighting it in the Sandy Plains, and it's exactly as advertised. If you still don't necessarily know how to get your event quest, make your way down to Steelworks, speak to the courier cat, go all the way down to the add-ons option, and claim anything that's labeled in white. You should be able to get free item packs, free event quests, anything you haven't necessarily done. Remember that PC players are not able to get these event quests just yet. The DLCs will be syncing up by the end of February. In fact, Capcom went ahead and posted, the Japanese Twitter account went ahead and confirmed that actually by late February, both DLCs for the Switch and the PC will be synced up. So every single event quest that drops on Thursday will be dropping not just on Switch, but on PC as well. But until that happens, this is just Switch content only. So basically what we're looking at here is, like I mentioned before, a Super Apex Diablos and the Sandy Plains. He has 2 damage parameters. He's going to hit you extremely hard, and he also has a whole heck of a lot of more health. I will point out, though, that I do think he's, out of all the Super Apexes that we have seen so far, he does seem to have the least amount of health out of all of them by just a little bit. So even like Apex, Super Apex Rathalos or stuff like that in Mizuzune, they were a little bit more hefty. They could take a little bit more hits. But Super Apex Diablos is still menacing because, again, he can pretty much one-shot anyone. And he has, I guess, 2 specific moves that he does that where he could actually one-shot you. The first one is when he enrages and he howls, so he gets like a black cloud of smoke around his neck, and he'll start triple, I believe, charging people. So he'll charge one way, zigzag the other, zigzag a third time, and then in that third time he actually does like a wind-up attack, like upwards. So that one is actually like an easy way for you to get, you know, trucked over and get KO'd instantly. A lot of people are not going to be able to survive that. Thankfully, I was in a party with a lot of gunners, so they kept their distance. They were pretty, you know, a distance away. They were safe, so it wasn't necessarily a problem for us. But I can definitely see a Blade Master having an issue with that specific attack. The second attack that can one-hit KO you is actually the tail swing and then pounce that he does. Basically, that one will, I guess, 2-hit KO you, but it's a combo. So the tail is going to swipe you, hit you maybe 30 to 40%, and then the pounce is going to take care of the rest. We're talking like maxed out armor. You're still just going to get carded from that thing as well. So I definitely saw 1 or 2 people. I had to do this quest twice. The first one, I just saw people just get swung up the first time, and then with that triple one that I mentioned before, someone carded to that, and then another person just carded again to the very same move again. So, you know, we failed it. The second time we didn't have anyone dying, I don't think. If someone did, I definitely didn't see it. But yeah, we were like gunners mostly, so we were like at a distance. We were safe. We were like, a lot of people were just moving around. We played it safe, but I know a lot of people don't get to do that. I've always talked about with these Super Apex event quests to make sure you grab some birds. You'll have a clear tell whenever you start an event quest, especially when you start it up with everybody at the same time. And if people just kind of beeline to the monster, that person's gonna get KO'd instantly. They're just gonna be a wasted slot. If you see people go pick up spare birds and, you know, pick up some extra defense and stuff here and there, you're gonna have a pretty good, you know, good chance to have, you know, people who understand they are doing super damaging monsters that are gonna hit you pretty hard, and you just need to have, you know, an extra benefit. You want to hit hard, you want to have more health, you want to have higher defense. Pick up some spare birds. You can bring all the potions you want. You're not going to be saved by the fact that you're just still getting 1-hit KO'd. So, you know, potions aren't going to save you in that regard. But with that said, this is now, I believe, the 5th Super Apex event quest. I believe there's only 6 in total. So we should be now pending for, of course, the best one out of all of them, presumably, which is going to be Super Apex Sinogre. That is the one that already we know that Apex Sinogre, it is a pretty challenging fight. as it is, Super Apex Sinogre is going to be a nightmare. And I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what that thing is going to do. But for this specific quest, there's no specific rewards. I don't even know if there's crowns attached to it. Probably not. So, this is just a challenge in and of itself. You get to take it down. You get that benefit of like, hey, I did it. It's a great quest. And, I'm happy that I pulled it off. But, it's on you ultimately. If you, for some reason, are having issues with people online, probably you want to do it by yourself. I do think that these event quests are probably more tailored for people who want to do them by themselves. If they don't necessarily want to rely on randoms on the internet, carding and then making you fail when you're actually doing pretty good for yourself. So that is a suggestion that I would do. And again, pick up Spirit Birds to make this a little bit more tolerable. But that's about all the information that I want to go over. Again, I'm glad that we now have, almost all of them. We're missing one, and then we should be able to see this one on February 10th. That should actually be the date when we get to see the Super Apex Sinogre event quest drop. February 10th is the day now that we should be expecting and looking forward to see what happens then. Do remember that I did speak about this a couple of weeks back, that after that, what I'm thinking they're actually going to do is start dropping these Super Apex monsters in the Rampage. I think that is the most desired and expected thing that they're going to want to do. I think I've seen some people hint at that already. So I do think that the next wave of like Super Apexes, or I guess super challenging events, is probably going to be them dropping these Super Apexes into a Rampage event quest. And then now you're dealing with those parameters specifically from, the Rampage itself. I do actually think if they drop them on the Rampage event quest, it would actually be easier because you have weapons to deal with. You have like that big, blast or whatever that does like 3,000 health. That automatically should make things a little bit easier for people. It doesn't change the fact that, there's still a challenge to take on, but, they are going to be challenging nonetheless. And PC players for sure are definitely going to be having, a nightmare having to take these down at the very least for the next foreseeable future until they can, max out their armors and stuff like that, end game builds, and then they could be ready to go and take out these. But the way that we have seen with the Nintendo Switch audience, players still struggling to take these guys down, I don't expect PC players to just have a easy walk-in, random with pugs and just be able to take it down with no problem. I do think that PC players are playing the catch-up game at this point in time, because again, even the DLC has not synced up, so they're just catching up. And they're probably in a couple of months you're going to be able to jump into one of these Super Apex event quests, and whatever random group you're going to be doing them on PC, they're going to be on par with the Nintendo Switch. For right now, I don't even think anyone's actually willing to try these just yet. There's no actual incentive. Whichever ones are available there's just no actual incentive to actually try these on PC just yet. If you're brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up. And as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya.